Hey guys, welcome back to Heiko Shaves. So it's an afternoon. I just finished a unboxing video that you probably have already seen, and a little opinion piece about a brand which you probably have already seen. And what a day. You know, it's all about shaving, so let's do a shave. I need a shave. My wife promised me I'm gonna get a haircut later on, so why not start with a clean face? I wanted to do a completely German shave today. You guys remember the Fasan razor that Arthur Gatzke gifted me while I was in Germany? It was in his care package and it hasn't been touched yet. I just showed it in the unboxing video, the box from Bill Murphy. Very close to, you know, the PAA homage to this. So Fasan was a company founded somewhere in the 1930s. I'm not 100% sure. Under kind of a parent company, Oberghaus in Solingen, Germany. So they made those Bakelite razors because, you know, during 1930s and 40s war production, there was no metal available. They did have other razors that were cast zinc for a while. I don't have much experience. I don't know in which order those models came to market, and I couldn't find really definitive answers out there on the internet. So between 1930s and 1955, Fasan was around. In 1955, Wilkinson, a company that was originally founded in London, they started a branch or a business in Germany in a cooperation with Oberghaus, which was the parent company to Fasan, or to this brand name. And then eventually Fasan, I think they were kind of sold in other markets than Germany as well, due to the cooperation with Wilkinson, but eventually Fasan, the name, just disappeared, and the company became Wilkinson Sword. That's why there are Wilkinson sword blades, not the Gillette Wilkinson sword, but the Wilkinson sword. Here, let me show you the package. I bought them here in a pack of, how many are in here? I don't even know, 100? Yep, 100, and it clearly says on there, does it clearly say that? Where do we have it? I could have sworn it says made in Germany here somewhere. Wilkinson Sword GmbH, Schützenstraße 110 Solingen. But it doesn't say made in Germany, so I'm a little hesitant now. You probably saw this little opinion piece. Just because there's a German address on it does not necessarily mean that something is actually made in Germany. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that the Wilkinson Sword GmbH, which is a Gesellschaft mit beschränkter Haftung, which literally translates into limited LLC, Limited Liability Corporation. It's the same thing. So I have a Wilkinson sword blade out. I have the Fasan, which eventually merged with Wilkinson. Then I have this shaving cream. I showed that already in Germany. It's made by Speik Naturkosmetik, also in Germany, in Leinfelden Echterding. So it's a German company, modern products, modern cosmetics, you know, the kind of the natural style cosmetics, but pretty excited that they make a shaving cream. We're going to use that one. And then I first was thinking of Total German, the tobacco by CHH. I showed that already. I used it in Germany, but then I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna have to impress anyone tonight. It's just gonna get dark. I will make another trip to a home improvement store, and that's pretty much it for the day. I want to use Thayers, even though this is not German. It's a very traditional old product, apparently since 1847. Natural Remedies. This is a facial toner which contains witch hazel and aloe, and this is supposedly the original alcohol free. So alcohol free, you're not going to have the alcohol burn. They also make the original with alcohol. I specifically bought this for the days when I just don't want the, you know, the aftershave burn. Ingredients: agua, glycerin, Hamamelis virginiana, which this is witch hazel. Hamamelis is actually the German name. They call it Hamamelis, which is bark, leaf, twig extract, a plant. They take the extract from it and supposedly soothing to skin and whatnot. Aloe barbadensis leaf extract, phenoxyethanol. That's a preservative, if I'm not completely mistaken. And a couple others. Fragrance, of course, citric acid, potassium hydroxide, and caprylyl glycol. Okay. So anyways, look at the ingredients, study the ingredients, know what you're putting in your face. That's all I have to say. So let's load up the razor here with a blade real quick. So this is a open comb slant razor from the 1940s, 50s. Nobody knows exactly. It doesn't say it on there. It doesn't say made in Germany on it, but I do know. So this is going to be, the typical 3-piece kind of installation. It has the center bolt or stud and then 2 pins. Then you have your plate, bottom plate that you put on there, and then you just tighten it up. The threading is out of metal, the rest is Bakelite. Some people think Bakelite is high-tech plastic, but it's actually the oldest industrially used plastic there is, invented in 1907 by Mr. Bakelite from Belgium. I bet you his real name pronunciation was different. It was not Bakelite, but he invented it in New York while he was studying and working there at a university. So there's a massive blade exposure, or at least visible blade edge. I don't know how aggressive this is going to be. So let's be cautious. Let's put some water on my face. We're totally skipping the pre-shave today. And then let's get a brush out. And I just realized I don't have a German brush. Since we're using vintage, let's use something vintage. Only vintage that I have is the Ever Ready with a bore, and I don't like it. It's too stiff. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should cut the stiff bristles out, drill out the knot, and put a fresh new knot in there. Let's do Heiko Self-Made Badger Frank shaving. So, I'm already diverting from my original plan that I wanted to do only German stuff, but I don't have only German stuff, I guess. Let's put some shaving cream on there. Face is almost dry already. And we're going to go right into my face. The spike, or Spike as we would say in German, doesn't have a very distinctive taste. Taste we can't speak to yet because I haven't tasted it yet. A scent. Doesn't have a very distinctive scent. Pretty mildly scented, which is always good. If your eyes are burning while you put the lather on, then you are most likely using the wrong product. Let's add some more. More water. This might only turn into a 1-pass depending on how aggressive this Fasan razor is. I've seen other reviewers use it and I think it's very similar to the PAA, the La Creatura, or the oh my goodness, now I'm completely drawing a blank. There are 4 models they have, all made out of ABS or some sort of plastic. I'll think about it. I'll come up with it. So let's do the first pass, maybe the last pass, and see how aggressive this is. Open comb, so if you keep the pressure down, oh yeah, not terrible. Oh yeah, it's pretty grabby. Pretty grabby. The Wilkinson sword blades are one of my favorites. They always, out of package, they perform well. They're sharp. But they're not necessarily always the best. As a lot of guys always say, you gotta find the right blade for the right razor. Yeah, it's pretty efficient. But here I just observed something. If you look at the blade, it's sitting right on top of the open comb. So there is no blade gap between the comb teeth and the blade itself. So what I'm thinking is that it is really only cutting in the locations where there is no tooth. So where the blade is exposed in between the comb teeth is where the cutting is happening, but not above the comb. So no actual blade gap. And so you almost have to do a couple passes or some blade buffing, because if you just pull it down once, wherever the teeth were, no cutting happened. And so you're not going to be able to get a smooth one pass, at least not. You guys know that I always do a lot of blade buffing. Like this, multiple times, same spot. A little bit background music. My wife has a piano student right now. Kids are all reading. The dogs are all sleeping. And I'm shaving. It is a little on the harsh side because there is so much blade in between the prongs there, in between the teeth. So, you know, there is a lot of blade engagement. But I've said that multiple times before. The first pass can always be a little deceiving because you have so much stubble and your blade engages with that. And then it might feel a little harsher than on the second or third pass. That's why, even though I said this could potentially turn into a one pass, depending on how aggressive it is, since we haven't cut ourselves yet, you know, so far there is still lots of material to be cleaned up, but I haven't cut myself yet. So we're just gonna lather up for a second round. Like that. Now there is way less material. So now we're actually going to get a real impression on aggression and now also ultimately then efficiency. Is this actually efficient enough to really bring it down to a smooth shave? And you know, at the end of a second pass, I better be 95% clean already in my face. Okay, cross grain. Yeah, not bad. Keep the pressure down. Don't start pushing hard just because it is very, razor in the way. It is very light. It only weighs 11.5 grams with a blade installed. So that's like, you know, 10% of some other razors we have used, like the Flexi is like over 100 grams. Yeah, there's a lot of piano playing in our house. My kids all play, my wife plays. We have piano students. It's actually pretty nice. I mean, I'm not a big classical music kind of guy. I grew up listening to electronic pop in the 80s, you know, Depeche Mode. Then I switched over to metal, Metallica, AC/DC, that kind of stuff. And I think I got stuck there. I I'm still into 80s music. You know, I was a teenager in the 80s. So that's my type, my flair, my music. Yeah, I think my neck doesn't like it. So we're gonna conclude it with only 2 passes. Overall, I think this is a very usable razor. It's plastic, very light, easy to travel with. I don't think it was exceptionally expensive back then, even though in the 30s and 40s this was already high-tech material, plastic, you know. Until 1907 there was no industrially used plastic. So let's do a quick little inspection here. Yeah, not BBS, but acceptable for me to go to Home Depot with. Let's rinse off real quick. Alrighty guys, so there we go. I didn't say much about the shaving cream. You saw it lathered pretty okay, even though I didn't pre-soak my badger brush, which is always a big mistake. They get softer when they are wet and warm. So if you want a gentle, smooth lather with a badger brush, just pre-soak them. A lot of guys just have a mug, they put hot water in it and then put the bristles into the water upside down, kind of like that. Yeah, I didn't do that, but other than that, it lathered really nice. And my badger here is already pretty forgiving because, you know, I've used it a fair amount and it gets softer over time. So the shaving cream lathered up really nice. The scent is very mild. Ingredient wise, it's not listed on the back here. Listed on the package: agua, potassium palmitate, potassium cocoate, glycerin, sodium stearate, sodium palmitate, sodium, my goodness gracious, lots of yep. But then that's ending. Doesn't look like anything horrible. And Yucca app, the app that I showed you guys a while ago, the Yucca app on App Store and iTunes or the Apple App Store, you can scan the barcode and they tell you exactly what's in it and what the risks are. I still do that almost on every product that I buy. So soap had a lot of residual slickness. Took me a while to wash off, and that is always good. I always like to find that. So when you have a soap that actually leaves hard to rinse off things behind, that always gives you extra slickness and protection while shaving. So now Thayer's, I think the only downside is that there is this phenooxyethanol, which is a preservative and which is not good, not super great, but we gotta use it. Also very mildly scented. I couldn't even tell you. It's not much. It's very mildly scented. They make all kinds of different versions of this with all kinds of lemon and mint, and I wanted the original. Just like a little slight clean smell. So you can totally put that in your face and you walk into a room and nobody's going to know that you're there. So it's definitely not a liquid statement, so to speak. But I like it. Feels good. The preservative in there is not the greatest, but it's also not the most terrible thing. And good alternative if you want something that takes care of your skin right after you shave without the alcohol burn. You can of course also grab you know, some balm or some other products, creams, lotions, you know, that stuff made by Colgate Palmolive or oh yeah, I have a Harry sitting here that was in one of those care packages back in the days. Thanks again. Post shave balm, haven't even tried it yet. So lots of choices obviously, but Thayer's, the facial toner from 1847. In 1847 the guy is probably you know, was traveling around on his horse drawn cart and then went from town to town to sell his homemade medicine, you know, probably back in the days you could drink this stuff and it would cure you of toothache or something like that. But yeah, nowadays facial toner, and a lot of guys use that as aftershave, you know, alternative, or in conjunction with aftershave, or in conjunction with other products. Thayer's is pretty popular, I guess, in the shaving community. So yeah, I like it. We'll see if it dries out my skin. That's always the biggest problem I have. I have really dry skin right up here under my eyes. So if I put any kind of harsh, you know, aftershave on it, I always have to treat it with some lotion afterwards. Alrighty guys, that was the Fasan, the open comb slant from the 1940s, 50s, from Solingen, Germany. Oberghaus was the mother company or father company, and eventually became Wilkinson Sword. That's it. I hope you guys like it. Leave me some comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like, and please subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.